doing well today. Welcome to another fun and full of learning activities here in Science 6 with me, Teacher Mitch, your charm guru.
At the end of this lesson, you are expected to describe the distinguishing characteristics of each group of vertebrates, classify each group of vertebrates, and list examples of each group of vertebrates.
Are you excited? Alright, fasten your seatbelts because we're going to travel and discover the world of animals.
For our review, you are going to identify the protective coverings used as protection of the following animals, whether they used their fur, scales, skin, feather, and shell. So just look at the picture. The first picture is turtle. The turtle used their blank for protection. Yes, the correct answer is shell. Next picture is cats. What protective coverings that cats used? Correct. It's their fur. Next is fish. The protective coverings of the fish is their very good scales. Another one is for eagle. They use their excellent. They use their feathers. And for the last picture is carabao. Carabao is using their skin as protective coverings. Very good, class. Konting kaalaman. Naaalala niyo pa ba kung anong sagisag ng ating bansa ang mga hayop na nakikita ninyo? Mabuti kung ganon. Ang kalabaw ay kilala bilang pambansang hayop dahil ito sa kanyang angking lakas sa pag-aararo ng ating mga bukirin. Ang ating pambansang ibon naman ay ang agila. Kilala ang haribon na sumisimbolo sa katapangan ng mga ninuno ng Pilipino. Ang ating pambansang isda naman ay ang bangus, sapagkat mabagsik sa pagiging matinik ang mga ito kung ihahambing sa ibang pagkaing isda ng Pilipinas. Sila ang pambansang simbolo ng Pilipinas na matatalakay natin sa ating aralin ngayon. Is your module ready? Great! Have your pen and paper ready too. Okay, class? Now, let's proceed to our next activity. Open your module on page 5 and let us answer activity What's New? You're going to read with me the poem about vertebrates and answer the questions that follow. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Have you ever seen animals that swim? They have gills, fins, and scales, spotted in the sea, oceans, and rivers. These are fish like tilapia, swordfish, and milkfish. Now, the question is, what is common about animals that swim? Yes, very good. The correct answer is gills. Have you ever seen animals that crawl? They have dry, scaly skin, just like snakes, lizards, and turtles. Some have 4 legs, others have none. These are reptiles hatched from eggs. What characteristics is common among reptiles? Right. The answer is crawl. Have you ever seen four-legged animals that hop and jump? They have fur, some have hairs, others have skin. They give birth, feed their young with their mammary glands. They are mammals like dogs, cats, and goats. What is common among mammals like dogs, cats, and goats? Correct! Fur. Have you ever seen animals that fly? They have wings, beak, and claws, living in trees and forests, building their nests in trunks. They are birds like parrots, owls, and doves. What is common among parrots, owls, and doves? Right! Wings. Have you ever seen animals that croak? They have smooth, scaly skin, living on land and in water. They love to hop and eat insects at night. These are amphibians, just like salamanders, toads, and frogs. What is common among amphibians? Correct! Smooth, scaly skin. Classification of vertebrates. Our first group of animals are these warm-blooded animals. They are born alive, or we call this as viviparous. They have hair or fur covers their body. They have mammary gland to feed their young with their milk. Like humans, like the mothers, they are using their milk to feed their babies. So we humans belong to this kind of group of animals. So example of this group of animals are horse, dogs, cats, and even whales. So these animals are called mammals. Bats are true mammals that gave birth to live young, produce milk to feed their young, have hair, and they are warm-blooded. Bats are unique among mammals because they can fly. Even though they fly through the air, bats are not birds. In fact, bats are the only mammals that can truly fly. This group are cold-blooded animals. They are covered with scales, have tails and fins. These animals also hatch from eggs, and they breathe through their gills. So these animals are called fish.
Hello friends. friends, and welcome to a new happy learning video. Today, we're going to learn about the fish. In almost all the places where you can find water, be it either salt water or fresh water, you can also find fish. There are fish of all sorts of sizes, shapes and colors, and yet they all have common characteristics, which you should know. Fish are vertebrates. Their skeleton is made up of bones or cartilage. They are also cold-blooded. Their temperature is not constant, meaning it depends on the water temperature. All fish have extremities in the form of fins, as you can see in this image. Another really important fact that one must remember is that almost all fish are covered in scales. The gills are the fish's respiratory organ. The respiration process is very interesting. Water enters through the mouth and goes to the gills. The gills then collect the oxygen and distribute it to the rest of the body through the blood vessels. Then the water is expelled through an opening which can be found in the majority of the fish behind their head, which is called the gill flap. Fish reproduce by laying eggs. Therefore, they are oviparous, and their fertilization can be either external or internal. Some fish are excellent fathers, like this one who protects his babies inside his mouth. He looks as if he's going to eat them, but he's actually protecting them. Look at that! Isn't it amazing? Whales are not fish. They are aquatic animals, like these friendly dolphins. So never forget, whales and dolphins are not fish, but mammals.
Another group of animals are these warm-blooded animals that hatch from eggs, or we call this oviparous. They have a pair of limbs used for hopping and a pair of wings used in flying. They have also beaks or bills used in getting food as well as their protection. This group of animals are called birds. One of the examples of birds is the flightless ostrich, which is the world's largest bird. Ostriches are the fast runners of any birds or other two-legged animal and can sprint at over 70 km/h, covering up to 5 meters in a single stride. Another group of vertebrates are these cold-blooded animals hatched from eggs. They spend part of their lives in water and part on land. They have moist and scaleless skin. Some of this group of animals are salamander, newt, toad, and Sicilian. And this group of animals are called amphibians. Why do frogs need to stay near water? This is because they need to lay their eggs in water, and their larval stage needs water. For example, frogs and toads start their early life as eggs deposited in water, then develop into tadpoles, so they must live in water to survive. That's why one of the characteristics of amphibians, most part of their lives live in water. Another group of vertebrates are these cold-blooded animals that hatch from eggs. They have dry, scaly skin and some have shells. They can live both land and water. Examples of these animals are crocodiles, turtles, and snakes. This group of animals are called reptiles. It's trivia time. Lolong, which died on February 10, 2013, was the largest crocodile in captivity. He was a saltwater crocodile measured at 6.17 meters or 20 feet and 3 inches long and weighed 1,075 kilograms or 2,370 pounds, making him one of the largest crocodile ever measured from snout to tail. Now, kids, tell me if the things you've heard about Lolong is real or make-believe statements. Yes, it is a real statement, which means things exist and we can see it, touch it. It is real because even though Lolong was dead, its body was preserved and was displayed in a museum, so we can still see and touch Lolong. A statement can be make-believe when something cannot happen in real life because it doesn't actually exist. Like for example, Lolong, the largest crocodile, was seen flying over the mountains. Flying crocodile doesn't actually exist. And that was real and make-believe statements, which was your lesson in your English 6. What an interesting topic of discussion we had. Right, kids? Great! Now, let's practice! You are going to write the names of animals in their corresponding group based on their characteristics. So kids, are you ready? In
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright, let's check your answers. Animals belongs to mammals are bat, cat, and carabao. For amphibians, swamp frog, toad, and frog. For reptiles, lizard, snake, gecko or tuko, and crocodile. For birds, maya. For fishes, bangus, tilapia, stingray, and galunggong. Got it all right, kids? Very good! Now, let's proceed to another activity. For what I have learned, you are going to fill in the blanks the missing words. And for the correct answers, vertebrates are classified as mammals, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and fishes. The mammals are animals that are born alive and have hair or fur as their body coverings. The fishes are animals that have scales, fins, and gills and live in water, while reptiles are animals that have dry, scaly skin and hatch from egg. The amphibians are animals that have moist skin and can live both land and in water. And birds are animals with beaks or bills and have wings. Very good, kids, for getting all the correct answers. For what I can do activity, answer the following questions. Write your answer in your science journal or notebook. Number 1 question. Frogs are useful animals that eat insects that are harmful to humans and other animals. People living in rural area exploit them by consuming them as food. Since frog population is already diminishing in number, in what way can you be of help to remind the people of the importance of frogs? Number 2 question. Mammals such as dogs and cats are cared as pets. They are furry animals that usually have parasitic ticks and fleas in their bodies. These parasites harm their host and often cause health problems to animals. How will you get rid of these pets that threaten your pet? And to test if you really understood our lesson, answer assessment. Write the correct classification of vertebrates as illustrated. Write the answers in your journal or science notebook. This is a 10-item test.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
And for additional activities, make an inventory of vertebrates found in your community and suggest ways of protecting these animals. Write your answer in your science journal or notebook.
Now, you already have an idea on how to distinguish and classify vertebrates animals. I hope you learned something new today. See you again on our next topic.
I am your charm guru, Teacher Mitch, leaving you a quote. The important thing in learning is to never stop questioning. From Albert Einstein.
Thank you for watching. Bye, kids.